If you have been struggling with your ADHD your entire life, then you're going to want to watch this video. I was in your situation really not too long ago. Back at college is when I officially got diagnosed with ADHD, but the problem is when I got diagnosed, it wasn't like I learned anything new about myself of really what was going internally wrong with me. It was more about just filling out a questionnaire and then being given a prescription medication. And that medication, sure, it helped me be focused, but I didn't like the side effects that happened with me. I was feeling like I was a zombie. I also would have these crashes of moments where it wasn't consistent with me, and I knew I couldn't continue with taking an ADHD medication when it also made me feel very stressed a lot of the times. And so this kind of led me on my path to really figure out how I could finally change my ADHD life for good. And so the very first thing that I decided I needed to do is that there had to be a better way than just being reliant on medication, and there had to be more of a natural approach to things when it comes to ADHD. And it certainly took a long time of just trial and error, trying different supplements, trying different diets, trying all these different things to try to see if anything would stick. But it wasn't until I came across other holistic minded doctors that understood the importance of looking at me as an individual and looking at my body chemistry to understand the imbalances that I was dealing with. Because at the time I was suffering with high anxiety, I definitely was dealing with low energy. I couldn't focus. I couldn't pay attention in school. I was getting bad grades in college. So I was really worried that I was not going to be able to perform because I just could not pay attention and focus for long periods at a time. Not only that, my motivation was definitely starting to plummet because I was so frustrated with finding an actual solution to my ADHD problem. But through these doctors, they understood that the importance of looking at lab work and looking at my body chemistry to see really what was the root causes of my issues. And one of the biggest things that I was dealing with was I was suffering with severe irritable bowel syndrome, so a lot of digestive complaints. And so they did a full digestive panel. They also looked at my hormones. They looked at different cortisol readings, and they also looked at my brain chemistry to see what were the imbalances that were going on with my body chemistry. And when they looked at that, they saw that there was definitely lots of imbalances and they knew exactly what to implement. And because of that, I finally had a roadmap to helping getting my health back on track, but not only that, to help optimizing my ADHD brain. Now, it certainly wasn't a night and day difference. I had to work at it. I had to implement the things that were going to help change my body chemistry. And doing so, I definitely helped improve my energy. I helped improve in reducing my anxiety and also get to a point where a lot of my ADHD symptoms came non-existent, except for some maybe common ones I still deal with today. But more importantly, my motivation, drive, and focus improved significantly, and that helped me significantly get through college and also through medical school. But it didn't stop from there because even though I implemented a lot of different supplements that were specifically targeted to the symptoms that I was experiencing, the deficiencies that I had from my lab work, it still required me implementing really important lifestyle changes that I have found over the years that have made a drastic improvement for my ADHD. I'd say the 5 biggest ones is definitely being consistent of getting good quality of sleep, exercising consistently, as well as getting good nutrition in my diet, as well as keeping myself hydrated, and then eliminating stressors in my life. If you need guidance and direction with your ADHD, then you should download my free ADHD health guide in the description below. Now, when I got finished with medical school and was finally on my own into the world, starting to work at my first clinic, I still had different ADHD situations that made my life a lot more complicated. And this is when I had to realize that I needed to learn how to simplify things, especially when it came to my routines and things that I did in life. And this was probably a big lesson for me, is that I constantly will always adjust my schedule to simplify my life so I'm not putting so much stress and overwhelm to my mental health. So I would say probably on a weekly to even monthly basis, I always look at my schedule and see, is there anything that I could start eliminating that's causing more stress to me, or is overcomplicating things that aren't absolutely necessary. And this certainly has been a game changer for my own ADHD health and being successful in my career path because I don't stress on the things that I'm not even good at. And I'd say that's probably another big principle that I did learn, is that to really just tap into my own super genius of basically what I am really good at versus always getting down on myself on the things that I am not so good at. And a lot of times that has to do a lot of detailed stuff. Sometimes writing isn't my skill. So sometimes I will have to delegate certain things and find other people that are really good at it and focus on the things that I'm really good at. Because this is a big problem I find, not only for myself, but also with my patients and clients, is that they beat themselves up realizing that they're never going to amount to that person that they maybe revere to, especially when it comes to something that is not fit for their ADHD brain. So to kind of give you an example, this could be just certain things such as like doing very detailed task things to follow a very step-by-step process. Now, if that's you, if you struggle in that, then find somebody that can do that in your place and focus on the things that you're really good at. Maybe you're more creative. Maybe you are better at thinking outside the box and taking risks, or there could be other different talents that you may have that you didn't realize you have that you should be focusing more on versus things that you're never going to be good at and letting those things go. The sooner you start letting those things go, that is probably the best thing that I ever could have done in my life, is starting to let go things that I just realized I'll never be good at. And that really helped significantly with my mental health and just my happiness overall. Now, just like I was saying at the beginning of my health journey with my ADHD to changing my ADHD life for good, was that I had to do in-depth testing to understand the imbalances in my own body chemistry. So if you really want to understand how I do that with my patients and clients to help with them with their ADHD, and watch this video next where I go in depth of explaining how to actually look at the root causes of your ADHD situation versus just going about it the normal way. So watch this video next.